welcome today's autumn practice. I'm going to just start with some warm-ups, taking the hands up high, breathing in and breathing out to bring them down. So today we're going to focus on being kind to ourselves, not having the unkind voice running in our head. Let's come into a gentle twist. Breathing in to draw your right hand back, breathing out to return. And the autumn can be a time when we can be clear about what our priorities are, sort of edit things, try to be precise about things. So when we come to some of the floor work in a while, we can try to do it really with control. So let's start to look up as the elbows come up and then curling down as the elbows come down. So we're moving through the whole of our back rather than just from the shoulders. And then back the other way. And we're going to be doing a lot of things 3 times in this video. Let's bring the hands up so the elbows are at the same height as the shoulders and move from the rotator cuff and then taking your left elbow on top of the right one and keeping the arms as a V shape today. I'm going to look up, lifting the elbows, pushing the elbows out in front and then giving them a good shake out. We'll do the same on the other side. So your right elbow on top, lifting up and pushing out in front till you feel that stretch between the shoulder blades and the spine, looking gently up and then shaking through. Let's do some stretching for the neck. So your left ear to the left shoulder and then to the right. And then this time, if you want, using your left hand and arm to add a bit of extra weight. And then bring the chin over the chest. Stretch it a little more. Same on the other side. But it's optional to use the arm. Definitely not pulling, just using the weight of it to stretch a little deeper. So taking your left leg out behind, the toes are tucked under. So the leg remains straight and you're rocking over the toes. So a good stretch for the foot, feeling the stretch along the back of the leg. And then into a balance. So we're working diagonally, left leg and right arm, stretching across the body. Let's do the same on the other side, so pushing back through your right heel. You're really in control of the stretch. Can also be good for sciatica, incidentally. And then stretching, I'm using the video to check that I'm shoulder and hip height. You can always look over your shoulder to look at the hip. So it's coming to a balance. We're going to swing the left lower leg out and then straighten the right leg. And then you're working that top arm above you and maybe even behind. So let's do the same on the other side. Right lower leg swings back slightly, left leg is straight. Reaching up and taking the top arm above you or slightly behind if that feels comfortable through the shoulders. So into a cat's pose, breathing in, lifting the head, letting the spine relax down, breathing out to round. You might close the eyes, you can take your awareness inwards, feel how the body is moving. And then sinking back towards the feet. Bit of bend in the elbow so you can scoop forwards, rounding the back, sinking down, breathing out, coming forwards to breathe in. Really lovely movement to relax any tension in the back. And then pushing up into a down dog. So you can have a bit of a move around, feel free to change position of your feet. And then you can alternate, bending one knee and then the other knee. You can always bring the hands further forwards, trying to find the length through the spine. So it's always good to come up with bent knees. Finding the space between the shoulder blades, letting the head relax down. And then resting down into child's pose for a moment, either with the arms by the sides or in front. And then we'll come up. So we've just been sort of warming up, ready for our floor sequence. So you can always have a blanket folded underneath you. Make sure that your back is comfortable as you do these different movements. We're going to start with a pelvic tilt. So the bottom is staying on the ground and your pelvis is rolling back, so there's no space under the lower back, and then forward, so there is a hollow. This is really good for your pelvic floor, because without having to send messages to the brain, it's engaging those muscles. And then continuing that movement up a bit more. So you've got the heels close to the bottom, so you can use the strength of the legs to breathe in and lift the hips up, and then breathe out to roll down one vertebra at a time. And I only want you to go as high as feels comfortable for you. So you might start a couple of centimetres from the ground and then gradually build it up with each breath. And then we're going to bring the arms into the movement. So as the hips come up, I'm turning my hands over so the palms face up. And then as the hips come down, turning the palms back to the floor. You can just see it on my left hand there. And then we're going to do a bigger movement with the arms. So breathing in, the hips come up and the arms go back. Breathing out, everything returns to the starting position. And really try to be accurate here with the feet. So using weight through all of the feet rather than just the outsides. Because what tends to happen is people use the outsides of the feet to push into, and then the knees splay. So just be aware of keeping the alignment from the knees through the hips to the shoulders, so we have the symmetry through the body. And then this time I'm going to leave the arms back and very, very slowly, so it'll take longer than an exhalation, bring the spine back down to the floor so you can really feel each vertebra, trying to round out the lower back. And when the bottom comes down, really relax all those big muscles. Let's do it again, breathing in to come up, but then taking longer than an exhalation to come all the way down, as if you're bringing your tailbone away from your head, finding a bit more space between the vertebrae. Okay, so then you can always rest the knees together, feet going a bit wider so the legs are supporting each other, and just take a couple of breaths to relax after that movement. Alright, so let's bring the knees up over the hips, so the lower legs are parallel to the floor, ankles flexed, and it's a really small movement with the legs. So breathing out, I'm going to push the left foot away, breathing in to return. Same with the right leg. So it's only 20 centimetres maximum. And all the time I'm drawing the navel down towards the spine, keeping all those core muscles really engaged, so I'm not rocking from side to side as the leg goes out. If you push the leg too far away, you will tend to rock more. So we want to be really controlled and accurate here. And then hug the legs in for a moment, just give those muscles a rest. I don't have a pillow under my head here, but you could if you were feeling uncomfortable. So let's glue the legs together, so the knees and feet are super glued together. We're going to breathe out to one side, about 20 degrees, breathing in back to the centre, breathing out to the other side, breathing into the centre each time. So keep it small and accurate, trying not to actually lift the hips up away from the mat or the floor. So we're really focused on those core muscles, the lower abdominal muscles as we do this. And maybe if you're recently postnatal, you keep it even smaller than that. Start with the smallest movement. So let's come into another movement for the lower abdominal muscles. So we're dropping the knee out to the side, breathing in to come back, breathing out to drop the other knee down towards the ground, breathing in to come up. Although I shouldn't really say drop, it's a lowering, it's very controlled. So again, we're not getting a rocking, so the opposite hip isn't rocking up away from the floor, but we're keeping the torso very still. Breathing in back to the centre, breathing out to lower. And just come down to a point where you're not getting any rocking in the body. So really controlled, keep the breath going. You could consciously draw the navel down towards the spine if you like. So let's take the feet a bit wider now. Going to come into a twist. So breathing in still to come back to centre, breathing out to the other side. But you should feel a stretch through the thighs. Just check that you're not getting a twisting feeling in the knees. If you are, you've taken the feet too wide. You can bring the head into it as well, looking away from your knees if you like. So we're doing more like 6 each side. And then taking your left foot onto your right knee, we're going to come into another twist. So the knee comes all the way over to the side, or as far as feels comfortable. So your hip is lifting, your bottom's lifting up away from the ground on the left side this time. And you can have the arms out to the sides or closer down towards the body if that's more comfortable for the shoulders. You could always take your right hand onto the thigh if that helps you come a bit deeper into the twist. And you're looking away from the bent knee. And then this time just pausing in the position, allowing time for the muscles to lengthen. So let's come to the other side, right foot on the left knee, tipping over to the side, looking along your arm. Let the face relax, let there be space between the teeth, face, shoulders, chest, belly, everything relaxing down through the body. You can always prop the bent knee if it just feels like too much to have it in mid-air. You could put cushions under it. Okay, so let's bring the feet back up. We're going to take the left ankle onto the right thigh, just below the knee, and then holding around the back of the right thigh. So you've got your left arm through the hole that you made and the right hand around the outside. Drawing the leg in. You could circle the right ankle if you want. And then the next stage is to straighten the leg, and that might enable you to bring the leg a little bit closer in. And the last stage, which is optional, is to bring your nose up towards the knee, so you're stretching the back of the body further. And then into a twist, so the left sole of the foot comes down towards the ground, and what I'm doing here is drawing the right knee close up towards my armpit into a deeper twist. So after the preparation twist we've done before, you can come a bit deeper into this one. And then we'll switch to do the same on the other side. So left thigh becomes the rest, right ankle onto the left thigh, reaching around the back of the left thigh, drawing the leg in. You can circle the left ankle. So at this point I'm keeping my head relaxed on the ground and then straightening the leg up. Then usually that means that you can bring the leg a little closer. And the last stage, which is optional, is to draw the knee in towards the nose, or nose to knee, whichever way round. And then into the twist. So keep the foot where it is on the leg and then tip over to the left side. So you're trying to bring your right sole onto the floor, and you can bring your left knee up closer to the armpit so you'll come deeper into the twist. And just pausing there for a moment. Nice to relax the eyes, take the awareness inwards, relaxing all the way through the body. So coming back. And let's come back to a healing breath. We've done this in other seasons. We're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, drawing the navel in towards the spine. So relaxing, breathing in, let the belly be soft so you can really take a big breath in. And then breathing out, and the navel draws down towards the spine, towards the floor. You might engage your pelvic floor as well. And then we're going to be using those same muscles as we rock up into Navasana, the boat pose. So you can keep holding on to the back of your thighs if you don't want to work quite as hard. And I'm going to rock down. So you need to have a certain level of strength to be rocking up and down. If it's too much, you can come from sitting instead. So draw the thighs in, hugging them towards the body, and then if it's comfortable you can take the hands either side, keep the navel drawing in, engaging the pelvic floor, resting back whenever your muscles have had enough. You can have a little massage by rocking the knees from side to side. Let's come up again. So finding position, I'm going to imagine we're holding a beach ball and taking the beach ball to the side of the bent knee, straightening the other leg. So keep the breath moving, breathing in, breathing out. Keep smiling, shoulders relaxed, face relaxed. And a well-deserved rest, back down, nice sigh, rocking from side to side. And then we're going to stretch the psoas muscle, which is a deep core muscle, where some people say that a lot of emotion is stored. So you can grab cushions, pillows, blocks if you have them, and then we're passively stretching out the right leg first of all. So I'm letting the foot flop. Start with 2, see if that's enough. Otherwise you can build up your cushion, your tower of cushions. So I've sat on it and laid back. If you find that a tricky thing to do, another way to do it is lie on the floor first, and then pushing into your feet, lift your hips up and slide the cushions in that way. That might feel less awkward. And then just hanging out here, let the breath be easy and flowing. Leg, as I said, is just relaxed, the foot's flopped out to the side. And in this way we can stretch out the psoas muscle. And I always know when my psoas muscle is tight because my right hip will click if I do straight leg lowering. So then I know it's time to come into this position, and a few minutes of this will be enough to release that muscle. So let's do the same on the other side. So this time you can see my foot flopping. Relax totally through the leg. Sometimes the less you do, the bigger effect it has. Letting the breath flow. Relaxed face, space between the teeth so that the jaw is relaxing. Belly soft. And breathe in deeply. And then when you've had enough each side, you can roll off and have a little stretch out. Oops, I'll move across so you can see me. So into child's pose, either arms out in front, or you can have arms either side of you. This is a counter pose to doing that gentle back bend over the pillows or cushions. And then we're going to finish off with a little breathing exercise, which I think would appeal to the autumn mind. That's some precision. So we're going to breathe in, counting up to 4. And then hold the breath in for 2. And breathe out for 4. So breathing in for 4. Hold the breath in for 2. And breathe out for 4. So that's going to be our basic pattern, so you can stay with that if you prefer. Otherwise we're going to try and lengthen the exhalation. So the next time you breathe out, you can breathe out to 6. As long as it's comfortable, it should feel very easy, not that you're pushing the breath. So breathing in for 4, holding the breath in for 2, and then breathing out to 4 or 6. Let's do a couple more rounds. Okay, so let's finish there today. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day.